6 people here. Good evening. Whoa, here we go. Damon Simmons. Good evening to you, Damon. How are you? Let me pour a bit of beer first of all. Sean McGoldrick, good evening. Paul Kerr. Here we go. 20 people in the chat already. I'm spilling bloody blacking on. I'm not even sure where that comes from. Okay, 26 people here. It's Wednesday night. It's the 21st of April. We're out of lockdown, but, you know, travel situation doesn't look to be getting better anytime soon. Good evening, Derek Mack, Paul Kerr, Nomad Upseas, Darren Walgate, Dominic.com, Chris X, Carl Timpany. Carl Timpany, well, you know, we'll see. Robert Edgar, hello from Oslo, Norway. Hello, mate. Why the last live stream for a while? Alex Garland, there's 60 people in the chat. Let's say hello to a few more people. John Mitt, how are you? John, I haven't heard from you for a while. How's it going? Kev Twine, the answer to your question is get rid of that. They're popping up on my screen here, left, right, and centre. Okay, Pal555, Paul Jones, hi to you all. Taxi to Lowy, yeah, okay. Andrew's Real World, hi Eddie, what do you mean last live stream? Okay, well, nice to see you all tuning in, guys. Listen, the reason I'm saying this is going to be the last live stream, Melbourne, Australia, Michael Keys is in the house. Yeah, okay. A few trolley dollies in the house. 121 people watching. Okay, now I'm drinking beer here. First of all, let me introduce you to this. This is a recent discovery of mine. It is called Perlenbacher. And you know what? I've been enjoying it so much that I haven't even bothered to read the label, other than it's 5%. I believe it's 5%. Or is it 4%? No, it's 4.5% alcohol. And you can get 4 of these from Lidl's, which I'm kind of getting used to now. I didn't used to like Lidl's, but you can get 4 of these 500 milliliter cans for £2.99, and it is bloody good. You know, I said recently that Kronenberg's the only, you know, lager that I like nowadays, whereas Stella has gone downhill. Stella it just isn't Stella anymore. But that Perlenbacher there, I would highly recommend it. I really like it. And for the price, you can't really go wrong. Okay? Tony Edwards, yeah, I'm drinking Perlenbacher. Right. Mr. Mitch, hope you're well as well. Nice to hear from you, mate. Pinball. Okay. So Dixie Normus is here. Nice to hear from you. Okay, so basically why this is probably going to be my last live stream for a while, maybe a month or maybe 2 months, whatever, is simply because these live streams that I've been doing every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, I think they've just about run their course, basically. Let me just say that the reason I started doing live streams was last year. I've done a couple of them before then. The reason I started doing them is simply because I'd run out of video. I'd been traveling throughout the winter in the previous year, Vietnam quite a bit, Thailand, wherever. And then after coming up back from the traveling, you know, I had quite a few videos to make, which I did. I run out of videos, and then this lockdown was here, and, you know, things weren't looking good. I thought, what can I do? I can't just disappear from my beloved YouTube channel, which I really like quite a lot. And, you know, I'm really thankful to all of those of you who have subscribed to this channel. I can't just disappear. So what can I do? I could either make constant greatest hits compilations. I don't want to do that. What else could I do? Well, you know, rehash and scraping the bottom of the barrel and putting out, you know, old decrepit old videos or bits of videos or whatever. Can't do that. And what I noticed is that round about last, you know, May, June, whatever, after I'd exhausted my videos and I had not more to offer because I wasn't traveling because of this dreadful situation, what happened then is that I noticed that for this YouTube channel, my overall views were starting to decrease. My monthly watch time was starting to decrease. That my YouTube ad revenue was starting to decrease. I accepted that. I thought I'm not going to be making videos a while, so things are going to go downhill and downhill and downhill and all that. So I thought what I'll do is I'll stay connected with people. I'll start doing a live stream every once a week, and it's got to be Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. I'll do a live stream every week to discuss what's happening travel wise, and those live streams really caught on. They caught on, and before I knew it, my watch time, my viewing figures, and my ads revenue all started going back up again. Right? No, don't underestimate this. I've heard from some live streamers that they don't actually upload the live streams to YouTube, because I heard one of them saying that after he's done a live stream, nobody bothers watching the live stream. Nobody bothers watching it when he uploads it to YouTube. Well, he can speak for himself, because I've been regularly getting, throughout that time, 10,000 views, 10,000. I've had more than that, 10, 12,000 views. The last couple of weeks, it's dropped a little bit, 8,000, but it's still very, very respectable. So I managed to reinvent, stay connected with people through these live streams. And, well, you've got to do something. We've discussed the travel stuff. But the thing is, I think at this point, it's run its course. And I'll discuss that in a moment. Who's that? Melton Mowbray Pork Pie. Oh, Roger. There's still a bit of Roger and Dodger. It will get there eventually. It will get there eventually. Kevin Twan, I agree with Chris doing OnlyFans. Isn't that one of those where you appeared in porn or you appear naked or something? Isn't that or is that just the channels that I watch? It's something like that. It's something like that. Derek MC, the European Super League is not happening anymore, Eddie. Stay on Wednesday nights. Well, absolutely. Let me just explain something. That this YouTube channel, I'm now to 37,000 subscribers, which is very, very good. I'm almost on 10 million views, which isn't a bad little result, considering I haven't been going that long, just a few years, just three years or whatever, since my channel became popular. But the fact is, I've done travel videos. It is a travel-based YouTube channel. I like travel. I like making videos. I've done that for a few years now, and it's been great fun. These live streams were only meant to be temporary. The reason I've done these live streams is to stay connected with people for maybe a few months before this dreadful travel situation sorts itself out. But it's gone on for so much longer than I think any of us predicted. I started doing live streams last summer, and now we're getting into the spring of this year, and I'm still doing them. Where's the videos? Where are the travel videos? There's no travel videos simply because I'm not traveling. I thought I was going to be traveling by now, but it just hasn't happened. So basically, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, okay. What's that one? HW. Hi Eddie. You left your underwear at my place. It's your own. No, at least that's okay. At least that's it. Someone who's got a bit of a sense of humour anyway. Other than the usual crap they come out with. Paul Cannon, Paul Jones, Rizzo Blitzo. What's the scoop on Thailand? Now, I'm glad that you said that, mate. I'm glad you said that, because there is no scoop right now. Now, this is the problem, you see, that I'm having. I want to talk travel. It's a travel-based YouTube channel. If I come on here every week, I want to discuss the current events of traveling. And right now, I just think it's all become redundant. Yeah, whatever's happening in Southeast Asia, we've missed a boat as far as the last peak season. The last peak season is over. I never ever thought that they would lose that peak season, simply because it means so much to them. But Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Philippines, I believe they're now on the red list. All of these countries have missed the last peak season. They're now going to go into a very, very long, dreary, bleak, wet, miserable, long season. The peak season in those countries begins in November. You're looking at 7 months before the next peak season starts. So what's going to happen? I simply cannot come on air every week discussing the latest travel implications. And you know the script with with the travel, it's one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back, because it's just going to make everybody miserable. It's going to make me miserable, and I don't want to be a miserable git week after week. Okay, there you go, Paul Jones. Forget Thailand for this year. I'm not gonna forget Thailand for this year, because I'm hoping that by November things will have sorted out. I'd be prepared to do a week's quarantine, but whether I do 2 weeks quarantine, but then the visa situation, would have to sort as well. I don't know about you, but when you're looking at what's happening with regards to getting abroad, getting to Thailand and these countries with with visas and quarantine and all that, I think we've talked about enough. That we needed to. I'm fed up with hearing about it all. I'm really getting bored with looking at some of these YouTube channels which discuss the latest happenings and whatever regarding travel. We've missed the peak season. The next peak season is a very long way away, so I don't really see much point talking about it, really. I really don't. Let's see. A Slater, we will still be waiting to go to Thailand same time next year. It's a joke over there. 1% of the population vaccinated. Bart finds 69. Eddie, Aldi wants to sponsor you. Do I shop in Aldi? I don't think I've only ever been there a couple of times. I don't think there's anything that I've ate or drank on this live stream that actually comes from Aldi. I can't recall anything like that. Perlenbacher's bloody good stuff. So, okay. Okay. Andrew Johnson off again for the next peak season. 7-day quarantine with the Maxine, I suppose. You talking about November? Yeah, November. I'd go for November, but then I'd done it last year. Jeez, it seems like so long since I've been sitting in this chair doing these live streams. I booked a flight on the 4th of July last year. That was more than 9 months ago. I booked it 4 months in advance for November, and I was quite excited about it, as you would be. But time's passed, and we're just going round in circles. I don't even see the point talking about quarantines and vaccines. We've done this to death, and it's got us nowhere, really. The fact is, some people like Andrew, have managed to get away with this with full credit to you, Andrew. I'm really quite envious. You got away and had a good time out there. But the fact is, I've just gone the first winter in 20 years when I haven't travelled abroad. And I was swore I was always going to travel. I was always going to live my life to the max, really. Just gone the first winter in 20 years when I haven't travelled abroad. And, I feel not very good about that. Welsh Lloyd, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate that. Okay. Okay. November. Martin Ryder, I was set for the 20s to months right now. Not me. Not me. Definitely not. Nice to hear from you anyway, Martin. Daniel Mills, don't leave us. I'm not leaving that anyway. Anyway, I really want to make travel videos. That's what I've done on this channel the last few years. I want to travel. I want to make videos. I want to make hotel reviews. I want to review certain places around the world. But right now I'm not actually going anywhere. So these live streams have reinvented the channel, but they are not what the channel is all about. I only ever intended this as temporary, for a couple of months, but like the antivirus, it's gone on for a lot longer than any of us thought it was going to go on. Howard Glickman, I missed the videos. I missed the videos as well. I missed traveling, mate. So basically, yeah, it's basically what's happening. Well, Who's got any travel plans? Anyone? I've got some plans sort of penciled in, but I haven't booked anything yet because you just, this is the frustrating thing is that, you can't really plan anything. You've just got to see what happens. Uh, I've actually heard on, not really on the news, but, on a little whispering that because of some of these strains that are coming in, sort of these, well, what do you forget the word now? Some of these strains that are coming in from India and other ways, that there could possibly be a third lockdown before long. Jesus Christ, it's all we need. Alex Garland, Edward Sweden, why not make some travel videos of the UK? Now we're open again, would be some good viewing, maybe some pork pies. That's possible. I live in a nice part of the country. I live in the south. There's some very, very nice places around it, but I don't really feel motivated. Maybe if I made a few videos, I could feel motivated. But the simple thing is that this travel channel, is based in Southeast Asia. It's based in those wonderful Southeast Asian countries like the Philippines, Cambodia, those sorts of places. And, they're the places I want to make videos from. But obviously, I don't even need to tell you, it's so difficult to get there. Pop saying, hi, Ed, you keep us entertained at work. Well, at the end of the day, it's a travel channel, and I want to come on here every week and talk about the latest developments in travel and be enthusiastic about travel. I can't be enthusiastic about travel right now because everything's bloody miserable about travel, to put it bluntly. Craig Robinson, you made many of our Wednesday nights more memorable. It's been fun, mate. Thank you for that, Craig. I really, really do appreciate that. The idea of doing these live streams is for those of us in lockdown, those of us who can't get to where we want to be, to come together once a week and simply talk about it. And, if we're all miserable together, then, that's fine. But it's run its course now. I think I just feel that I'm coming on here every week just talking about the same drivel over and over and over again. A lot of these reports that you see in these so-called developments, I don't even bother watching them anymore. In the past, before I, do a live stream, I'll watch some of these videos. I'll read some of the things like the Battalion News, the Bangkok Post, whatever's going on. It gets you nowhere by reading that. It's not getting anyone anywhere, really, because the fact is, we can't go to these countries. In the UK, Ed, do a vlog on your local laundrette. That sounds like a real spinner to me. Oh, God, that was corny, that wasn't it? Okay. Dominic.com, do a vlog in Milton Keynes, Ed. Never been there in my life. Yeah, Redmondo 777. I missed the video, but leaving YouTube now. No, I'm not going to leave YouTube. I'm not going to leave YouTube at all. I love my YouTube channel, and it will resurface. But the fact is, it's a travel channel, and let me just tell you something. I've seen other travel channels where the guy's not traveling, but he still wants to make videos. So what happens? What happens is that he ends up making stuff that people don't really want to see. There's one YouTuber, and I won't mention it who it is. I don't name names, but he makes videos on a regular basis. But he recently posted full-length, episodes of an old TV series on his channel. What's the bloody point of that? I'm not going to mention who it is. Some of you may guess, but he's actually posting episodes of an old 1970s TV series on his travel YouTube channel, the series which has got absolutely nothing to do with travel. What is the point of that? I don't want to go down that road. I've tried to talk about as much travel as I possibly can, but I've exhausted it all. Done a few other things like Roger or Dodger. Some people like that sort of stuff. Some people absolutely hate it. So I'll try and keep it. You will have noticed towards the end of the program, the end of the live stream. But there's really nothing more that I can add to the travel situation right now. Really not more. Donald Baldrow. Well, it's not. Yeah, thanks for those kind words. Anyway, thanks for those kind words. I think I'm going to give this a rest for about a month, or maybe maybe a couple of months to see what happened. Hopefully in a couple of months' time, I'll be back traveling again. It will not be Southeast Asia. That's off the menu until at least the end of this year. I'm hoping the end of this year. Really, I'm really, really hoping the end of this year I can be back in Southeast Asia. But we'll just have to see how things develop. That's all beyond any of our control. So what I'm looking at basically for months, assuming like I can have my second vaccine without a problem, and they're talking about a third one. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? They're talking about a third one, but if I can have my second vaccine in June and they start to relax and travel a little bit, then I'll be out in some maybe European destinations, July, August, maybe September. So at least I'll be back on the road again. I am told. I am told. After watching your video, I want to visit Vietnam, Hoi An. Great place. Great place. Hard tulip. If that if that is correct, what you're saying, then that means that the Antarctica is on the rise again. John Mitch, I'm looking to go to the USA and on to Colombia around November 2021. Well, that sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. I mean, those South American countries, they're all on the red list as far as this country is concerned, which means that not only is they going to be difficult to get to, but you're going to have to quarantine on the way back as well. Adventures around the world. Oh, jeez. Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Did you see that in the BBC Adventures? It was on the BBC today talking about third wave in the summer. I don't think people can or will say much more of this. Now, what has been in the news is the Indian strain. Okay? Now, India is one of the most populated countries on the planet. 1 billion, 1.2 billion, something like that, whatever it is. And what I've been a little bit suspicious about is the fact that their rate of the Antarctica, I think they've, been behind America, which has got about a quarter of the population of India. Oh, I don't know. I think some of these countries have got a lot more of it than what they're letting on about. I really do. Look at Brazil and countries like that. I've always said all along that this Antarctica is really going to explode in a big way. It will be from those developing countries. I mean, let's be realistic. A lot of those countries, those developing countries, a lot of them are hungry for food. They're more concerned about whether they can put food on the table. The last thing they want to be doing is social distancing. Does that mean anything to them? You know what I mean? See, I'm getting depressing now, and I don't like being depressing. Now, what are they up to? Kip's guitar. I'm traveling as soon as I have my vaccine to Vietnam, or if Vietnam is close as far as I know, or if Mexico. There are plenty of great countries open. It's exaggerated. No, the thing about Mexico, at one point I thought, that could be a plan B. I wouldn't mind visiting Mexico. I have been there before, but I wouldn't mind doing an extensive trip to Mexico. And there's lots of good reasons. I think they have a very generous visa situation. A very, very generous visa situation where you can go there and stay for a very long time. The problem is that so many other vloggers have gone to Mexico, and from what I seen, I wasn't really that impressed. It actually looked a bit dull to me. I don't want to go through the trouble of the time and the effort to go to a place where people are thinking, I don't like this. I even seen the viewing figures in a lot of those videos from people were not really that impressive. I mean, maybe if I made vlogs from Britain, the south of Britain where I live, that might be more interesting. At least I wouldn't have to cross any borders. Okay. It's Howard Glickman. Yeah, it might take 2 years for Thailand to get the jab. Tribal Fusion, Jason Billum travels us there now in Mexico. Yeah, I've seen some of his videos. He's a young lad, isn't he? Makes some nice videos. Okay. High five. This is more of a current affairs channel, so keep up the banter. Well, it isn't really. Let me explain something to you. There's 37,000 subscribers to this channel. A lot of those subscribers were very, very loyal when I was making videos. But those same people, some really, really good people that got used to the names, they don't like live streams. They will watch the videos. Some of them will watch all the videos that are made in the past from Vietnam, you know, even places like Taiwan or whatever. But not everybody likes live streams. Some people love live streams. Some people just don't want to know. And really, I miss some of those people because you know, I don't want to betray anyone. I don't want to betray the audience that are used to tuning in here every Wednesday night. But I also don't want to betray the people who watch my videos in the first place, if you know what I mean. I really need to get back to traveling and making videos. It's as simple as that, really. You know, these live streams are just we're just they were just a temporary thing, which has gone on a lot longer than what I thought. Thailand bound. Hi, Peter. How's it going? Nice to hear from you. Let's see. Thomas McKendrick, question. Have you thought about having a Thai partner, Eddie? I suppose so. You've thought about it. Yeah. That's about it, really. That's all I've got to say on that matter. The Eyes of Owen. Eyes of Owen. Hey, Ed, what camera gear will you use when you finally get away? Will you be upgrading? Do you know what? I didn't fully use. Eyes of Owen's got a very nice YouTube channel himself, as many of you will know. Let's see. What camera will we use? I've still got the G7X, which I probably didn't fully utilize. It's good for night photography. And the GoPro, the GoPro Hero 7, which I got some nice little results. If not, I kind of got used to using that. I wouldn't mind, you know, getting maybe the latest iPhone or something. A lot of vloggers nowadays, they use the latest iPhone, don't they? They all rave about the camera. I've watched lots of videos on this iPhone, you know, and I've got to think about that. But the cameras I've got right now are pretty good. But yeah, an iPhone to do some outdoor live streams or whatever. It's okay talking about this, but I need to put it all in action. Bart finds 69. Kenya good for the ladies. Really? I went to Ethiopia and, you know, nice ladies out there, really. Do you like that sort of thing? Oh, yeah, some good-looking Ethiopian ladies, no doubt about that. Philip Ford, Harold Baldwin went to Zanzibar, but it's just not the same. Now, I like Harold Baldwin a lot, you know, and he's a hugely successful YouTuber and a very nice guy. I've only got one criticism of him. As the years go by, his videos get longer and longer and longer. You know, he started off 10-minute videos, and then he done 20-minute ones, and then he done half an hour ones, and then he done 40 minutes, and now I've seen him going on for an hour, you know what I mean? But I do like him. I do have a lot of admiration. I'm sure he's a very, very nice guy. Let's see, a nomad overseas. Ed, would you consider doing one of those train journey vids in the UK, sort of like a Michael Palin type of thing? I wouldn't mind doing that, but I never go on trains in the UK. I just don't use them. There's not really anywhere to. There's only two places in the UK that I really go to. There's where I live, and there's Heathrow Airport. And right now, I'm only going to one of those places. I'm going to where I live, and that's about it, really. You know. So let's see. Okay, Welsh Lloyd, I tried to iPhone my blonde neighbour, but she caught me. You dirty little devil. Okay, come on, post the video, please. I'd like to see it. Expat Pete, Eddie, will you place the live stream with other content, or not post any more videos for a while? Well, I think I'm going to take a bit of a spring break. Hopefully, I'll be back with the summer. Hopefully, with some travel videos. Maybe I'll be traveling by then. I'll tell you about that in a minute. What I've got in mind. But the live streams replaced the videos. Don't forget. the videos that I was no longer able to make because I run out of video. I'd exhausted all my travel videos. So the live streams replaced those. But I'd like to say that the videos will now replace the live streams. But what videos? Need to get traveling. That's the important thing. I need to get traveling first of all. Okay. Thank you, Chris. Rick D. Won't change it. Ascad still can't sell. He trusted the system like a fool. Yeah, okay. You're entitled to your opinion. Okay. Donald Bozo, yeah. Poor pie, speckled ends, squeaky door, Rogers and Dodgers, yeah. Okay, fine. Now, the thing is, I've thought of other ideas to do on a live stream because the travelers talk is just so redundant. I've got nothing to add to it. I've literally got, at this point, I've got nothing to add to the travel situation because before I was researching the developments in the hope that I could get up to Southeast Asia, I was researching when I was coming on here and talking about it. Now I don't even want to look at it anymore. It's also one step forward, two steps back. I just don't see the point. I really don't see the point. I won't be going to Southeast Asia until at least the end of this year. You know. What have we got now? What have we got now? What's matter up? Well, I'm not going to pronounce your name. 14-day quarantine in Bangkok was okay, but reduced to watching the man opposite take a leak in his garden every morning. Highlight. Sounds thrilling, that doesn't that sound so? See, this is what I've thought. Now, I was prepared to do that 14-day quarantine when I booked that flight. When I booked the flight last year for the beginning of November, I would have been prepared to do that 2-week quarantine because I was planning on going out there for 4 months. But really, now when I think about it, that's probably a dreadful way to start any holiday. Some people say it's not that bad, but I'd go crazy. I'd go crazy. I could do 7 days, but I think 14 days. Jesus Christ, sounds appalling. Sounds absolutely dreadful. I think I'd come out of that psychologically damaged personally. I really, really would. Especially if there was no alcohol. Then I really, really would be climbing walls. Okay, just back in a second. Okay. There you go. Daniel Kelly. Good evening, Daniel. Nice to hear from you, mate. I think you were in Pattaya at the same time as me, weren't you? But we never managed to meet up. I think that's when the lockdown just came up. Oh. Let's see. AK Shack. Why you need to be on here if you're abroad on holiday? That's weird. Don't elaborate on that one. I don't really get you. Franklin Ray, Mr. Lynn. Yeah, we need to go through these poo times together, Eddie. Okay, you are quite right, mate. You are quite right. And this was the purpose of my live streams to begin with, okay? We're all in the same boat. It's a crap situation. It's gone for far longer than any of us thought. So basically the idea of me coming here every Wednesday is that we can get together and talk about it, talk about the latest developments, anyone coming up with ideas, and if we're all miserable because of the situation, then at least let's be miserable together. But I think I've exhausted all of that. And like I mentioned earlier, I don't want to be in the situation where I've totally run out of ideas, because this is still a travel channel, don't forget, that I've completely run out of ideas, and I start doing other things, coming up with other ideas which are not travel related, because that would defeat everything. It's people didn't subscribe to this channel originally so that I could talk about fishing or whatever. They want to know about travel, and basically the travel situation has become really, really redundant right now. I know that I do Roger or Dodger, and that is coming up later, but at least I'll leave that to the end of the show. So, people who don't like it, don't like it, basically. John Smith do a video on Aldi supermarket. Someone else said that. I don't shop in Aldi. Wasn't really very impressed with that one. Juggernaut Media, go to Greece. Okay, now there's an idea. Now there's an idea, isn't it? Now let me just talk a little bit about my plans. They're not plans. You can't make solid plan. A plan is something solid, and there's nothing solid right now. Okay, except for when I watch all those beautiful Bond girls, and that sort of, and Anna Katie, then there's something solid. But apart from that, anyway, okay, you know what I mean. Now, Jugger Media mentioned Greece. The only place in Greece I've ever been to, which was a couple of years ago, was the island of Rhodes in Greece. Now, a country close by, which is not very friendly with Greece, by the way, is the country of Turkey. Now, I know the country of Turkey very, very well. I owned a property out there for many, many years. I've spent a lot of time out in Turkey. I've travelled throughout the whole country, and Turkey is an unbelievably beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country. It's got the most underrated landscape of any country. I've travelled all through Turkey many times, and it's a wonderfully, it's just a beautiful environment to be in. Now, on one of the visits there, I went to the island of Rhodes for a few weeks, and that Greek island of Rhodes is also absolutely stunning. And basically, if the wind's in the right direction, then come July and August, I will be out in that part of the world. I will see Turkey again. Because it's such a wonderful place, and apparently it's very, very cheap. Well, the Turkish lira has collapsed, so it's going to be damn good value. But I wouldn't mind travelling through Turkey and Greece, maybe the Greek. An island that I'd love to go is the island of Crete. I've never been there, but the island of Crete, that's actually bigger than some small countries. There's a lot to it. That vlogger that you probably know of, Gabriel Traveller, I think Greece is one of his favourite countries. He seems to have done a lot of videos on the Greek islands, and apparently it's a wonderful place. I've only been there once. I've been to the island of Rhodes, but such a beautiful environment. But the thing about those countries, what I do know about them, if you're going out there in the months of July or August, they are at their hottest then, and they are very, 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 very hot countries in those months. July, August, even September, they can be baking hot. In some cases, oppressively hot. Months like September or June are hot, but they're okay. But I think when you come to July and August, they can be baking hot. But this is what I'm looking at. I wouldn't mind a trip out there. I'm forgetting about Southeast Asia for this summertime. It's just not going to happen. Apart from anything, you're in the rainy season there. I just don't think it's worth going to right now. I really, really don't. But I wouldn't mind spending a bit of time in Turkey or Greece, simply because it's a beautiful environment. With regards to Turkey, especially, it's very, very good value. The landscape is phenomenal, and I think I can make some pretty good videos going out there. I really do. So that's what I'm looking at. Sean the Prawn. Greece is awesome, Eddie. Paros and Aspalair Islands are incredible in a way. It's Greece, I can believe it. Those islands, if Rhodes is then to go by, and they're probably very, very similar in their appearance to those the Turkish islands. It's an absolutely stunning environment. I wouldn't mind being there. I really, really, really wouldn't mind being there in the summertime. Richard, you're correct, Eddie. Enough is enough. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, fine. You can tell us your opinion. You're correct, Eddie. Enough is enough. I watch vloggers from the time they're bored now, just trying to make it interesting, but it's just boring now. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. I mean, what am I going to do? We're going to come in here every week and talk about it. When there was a possibility of getting out to Southeast Asia during the peak season, it was interesting. It was interesting checking out the latest developments about what's happening. But now that peak season is gone, you now have a very, very, very lengthy low season to contend with. And don't forget, the low season in those countries is twice as long as the peak season. So what's going to happen now? It's, we're going to come on here every week and spout doom and gloom. I don't even want to see those reports anymore. I don't want to hear anyone talking about the current visa development or the current quarantine development or whatever. I'm not going to be going there until at least the end of this year, so it doesn't mean anything to me. So I can't really get enthusiastic about any of it. Okay. 479 in the chat. It's nice that, honestly, really, I've got to say, guys, I have got to say at this point, okay, it has been an absolute thrill for all you guys to tune in on a Wednesday night at 10 o'clock. You know, it's really, really great for you to tune in. I'm thrilled. I mean, it's great to have your company and everything. And like I mentioned earlier, some live streamers say they don't bother uploading to YouTube after it's gone live because nobody watches it. Well, they watch my videos. I'm really, really touched by the number of people who said to me that they watched these live streams the following morning because, you know, there's time differences in Australia and America, all across the world. But there are some people who, you know, I mean, the other week, I stupidly mucked it up and didn't upload this to YouTube. And there were people who were messaging me saying, where's the live stream? I watch your live stream on a Thursday morning. You know, that's really, really great. It's really, really kind. Some very, very nice, kind words. But I don't want to come on here and start boring people. I don't want to start boring myself and boring other people. Now, some people say, "Well, I'm bloody boring anyway." But that's another subject. If there's nothing to be enthusiastic about travel at this moment in time, then there's no point doing any of this. It's a travel channel, and if it's not about travel, then there's no point doing it, really. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. My friends, we look forward to Wednesday night. It's a laugh. You know what I mean, the thing is, I like to have a laugh with people. One of the reasons I chose 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night is that it's smack bang in the middle of the week. It's late at night. And what else is going on, late on a Wednesday night? Not really a great deal. This is a good time to do this sort of thing. I wouldn't mind doing it Monday to Thursday. You know, the weekdays. You know, I think that would be good. But you have to have, if I was to do that, it couldn't all be about travel. It would, or it would have to be when travel is in a better state than it is now. And now travel's in the worst state ever. Let's see now. Thailand's high life. No, there's only 477 now. One of them's left. One of those sex pats has left the bill. Okay. Ernest Carl, I'm going to take a drink on Wednesday nights. I drink every night, mate. I haven't had a dry night since, I don't know, since Margaret Thatcher was Prime Minister. And there you go, hard tulip. Yeah, he's mentioned Margaret Thatcher again. Bloody good stuff, that Perlenbacher. Jamie296, I really appreciate the live streams, either live or sometimes the day after. Oh, I'll be back. As for the live streams, I mean, what format would it take? Now, some of those guys do StreamYards or Streamlabs, whatever it is. Now, this is an app to make your live stream look better. Now, I've thought about that. I've thought about doing that. But basically, I think the simplicity of this one works well. I've seen some of those, some of those live streams where there's not really a great deal. It looks a lot better than my live stream, but there's not a great deal happening. They may have 2 or 3 or 4 guests on, but they don't have a great deal of conversation between a lot of them. And basically, I think the simplicity of this works well. This was only supposed to be a temporary situation, doing these live streams once a week. If I was going to make it permanent, then I would have got a better camera, got a better setup. But it was temporary, but it seems to work. I've regularly had 500 people in the chat. Let's see. High five. So what are you going to do next Wednesday night? Well, I'll tell you what. I still work. I work every day, so You know, I'm not saying I'm going to be working next Wednesday night, but I can work longer hours if I want because I'm self-employed. And basically, I'll probably work more hours next week. Just get the hours. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping and praying that I can get abroad for July. I can really start traveling again, somewhere like Turkey or Greece, somewhere where I'm going to be relaxed, have a good time. And basically, it'd probably be a wise thing for me to just bang in as much work as I can right now to start putting the pennies away. So let's see now. Let's see now. Derek Mack, you could do an X-rated Roger or Dodger on your live stream. Just a thought. I don't think YouTube would approve of that one, much as I'd like to. Sean the Prawn, Steph can run you through StreamYard, Eddie. You can have special live kids. Yeah, I know Steph's cool. Steph's cool. I haven't seen him on this channel for a while. Say hello to Steph from me. Paul Frankham, yeah, don't try to complicate things, Eddie. Things are complicated enough at the moment. Yeah, quite nice words there. Richard, well, have you been looking into my bank account or something? You have been working non-stop for over a year. You must have loads of money saved. You've seen the cost of living. Seen the bloody cost of living, mate. Jesus Christ. Whatever you earn, you end up paying most of it out anyway. Popcorn, are you offering a support line for Wednesday? Is that coming for me? Not quite sure about that one. AKA Shaq, there is no bad time to upgrade equipment and change your background. Even just pin up some Chinese takeaway menus or something. Yeah, that'd be an idea, wouldn't it? Hard tulip. Yes, in UK, there's a box set and Easter cake videos to watch. Who cares? They're all on the internet anyway. Ernest Connell, I hope you do get abroad in July. Yeah, okay, I could do it abroad. I really could. Okay, I look forward to Wednesday night. Anthony Owens, yeah, I really, really do appreciate that. I really, really love to do. Maybe 4 nights a week. I love that. I'll tell you why. I love that. 10 o'clock weekday. There was a guy I used to listen to on the radio in the 1980s. In the mid 1980s, during the dreadful recession when I lived in that city called Liverpool, and he used to run a radio show late at night. 10 p.m. I think it was Monday to Thursday. He was a DJ, so he played music as well. But he had a phone-in radio show, and he was damn good. He was quite offensive to people. He didn't care really what he said. He was very, very politically correct, but I used to look forward to listening to it because in them days we only had 4 channels in the 1980s, and there was bugger all else going on. And I kind of like the idea of doing weekday live streams rather than weekend ones, simply because there's tons of stuff going on the weekend. Whereas through the weekday, I think people people will appreciate someone coming on late at night, to see what he's got to say. And I think that's why my live streams have done okay. But I just don't want to run out of ideas. Let me see. Daniel Mills, was he James Whale? No, I know. He done a phone in then. No, the guy's name was Alan Bessick. He was based in Red Rose Radio, which is based in Preston, Lancashire. I know that's probably not very far from Liverpool, but I never went to places like that in those days. But his name was Alan Bessick, and he becomes something of a, okay, I'm not going to say the words in case it's misheard, right? But so many people used to tune into him through the week simply because there was nothing else happening. But he was bloody good at what he did. He'd done a phone in, an open forum. People used to phone in. Some cranks would phone in, but he was funny. There was always something happening on that show, and I used to absolutely love it in those days. No, I wouldn't mind, doing something like that. I wouldn't even mind doing a phone-in show. I'd like to do it maybe 3 or 4 nights a week. Well, give us time. Let's take a bit of time out, think about stuff like that. But another thing that I will You know, Ed Ventures Around the World sounds like James Whale. No, James Whale took over that radio station after I think Alan Bezic actually got the bullet because they had so many complaints about him. You know, he was very, very outspoken, but he was bloody good. Stephen Goodall, he is still on the radio. I don't know which radio station he's on. Let's see. Yeah, Simon and Siam, Alan Bezic. You got to remember him now. Okay, he was brilliant. He was brilliant. We were in those days, in something like the 1980s, we were starved of entertainment. You know, we only had 4 TV channels. Only a couple of those were any good, and you know the radio. What was the radio? Well, you had a few radio stations, but late at night there wasn't much happening, and it was just great to tune into stuff like that. So I've kind of taken a leaf out of his book. If ever I do a phone-in radio show, it'll be more than once a week anyway, because there'll be plenty of stuff to be getting on with. Steve Goodall, Bessick is on Radio Manchester. Is he still around now? He must be getting on a bit. Ed Ventures Around the World. I used to love listening to James Whale growing up. Would listen every night. James, yeah, I listened to James Whale in those days as well. And I think James Whale may have even been around before Alan Bezic. But I have to say, though, Bezic, even though I didn't agree with a lot of his stuff, he was very politically correct. And I don't always agree with any of that. But he was quality. He was better. James Whale was good, but I think James Whale's a little bit superficial, whereas Bezic was the real deal. He was the real deal. He was very, very outspoken. He was really very, very offensive, more offensive than he should have been at the time, which is why I think he was removed from that radio station. And boy, when he was removed from that radio station, I missed it because so many people I knew used to tune into him every night. You know, to hell with News at 10, whatever's on a TV late at night. Go and tune into Alan Bezic. Bezic's on. Yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a leaf. I'm not saying that I'd be in the same league as him. Yeah, Jan Sorensen. Sad, there's a bright spot that we see on Wednesday night. Thanks for that. I hope I can go to Thailand on January the 5th, 2022. Do you think that'll be realistic? Who knows, mate? I'm hoping before then. I'm hoping in November. But there's bad things happening right now. There's cases of the antivirus going up, and an outbreak here, an outbreak there. Not good at all. I wish you the best of luck, mate. But I think that quarantine, if you're planning on going out there for however long you're going to go out there, maybe a brief holiday or whatever, I think that quarantine is going to be around for quite a while. I really, really do. They may reduce to 10 days or 7 days, but it's going to be around for quite a while. Listen, I've waffled on a little bit. I think it'll give me reasons for whoever's super chatted. Thanks for that. Dennis Stoifert, Alan Bezic still does a late night phone in a midweek night on BBC Radio Lancashire. Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's bloody good. He used to take the mickey out of Scousers and whatever. Well, we've heard it all before, but the way he did it was funny. You know what I mean? A lot of the other people that do it is not funny, but he was genuinely funny. Listen, squeaky door time is coming up very, very soon. Let me have a little look through the Sean the Prawn. Can we get to Spain, Eddie? I think the easiest place to get to in Spain is actually the Canary Islands, which are Spanish. Some of the other islands, they say they're going to relax things, but they're having problems. It's all too complicated for me. Okay, squeaky door time. I'm going to have a bite to eat, and then Roger the Dodger is going to come up very, very soon. See you in a minute. Okay, what have we got here? Woodpecker, apple cider. Kip's guitar. I'm in Spain now. It's pretty normal. All bars open. Dave Cook. Oh, I'll be back soon. I'll be back soon, mate. Richard, I'm really sad Thailand is finished as far as I can see. The government do not have a clue. Well, no, it's not finished. A wonderful country like that. This is a dreadful... This anti-us is thwarted, has destroyed so much. But so many of these countries, well, the world will be back. Thailand will be back. A great little country like that. Very, very resilient. Okay, now what's on the menu tonight? Another one of these deluxe. What is it? Hand crimped melt Mowbray pork pies. A little bit of a snack. A little bit of munching. I'm quite peckish right now. Oh Jesus! Doesn't that look good? Doesn't that look damn good? Come on. Let's get a few calories down us. Oh Jesus! Oh my God Almighty! Oh, a melting Mowbray pork pie, Lidl style. Bloody God. That is so crispy and beautiful. Excuse me for a moment while I make a peg of myself. This is not difficult to do. Daniel Kelly, when are you going on Steph's channel again? I don't know when's he doing live streams. He does that StreamYards thing. I did go on the channel a couple of times, but I found it very, very uncomfortable with that 7-second time difference, and I couldn't get into it. It done me head in after a while. But I like Steph. Steph Traveller is cool. He's Belgian. He's a cool. He's a cool Belgian guy. Let's see. David Keenan, good old squeaky door time. Sorry, but once I start eating, I can't stop. Okay, one more little bit of a munch of this. Oh, it's bloody good stuff. Lovely. I think the whole one now. Anthony Hazard, Ed is a gentleman. Presumably you made that comment before you see me stuffing my face. Thanks anyway for that. Let's see, okay. I'm going to look at the chat here. Pigs in Newcastle, someone said he's a loony. Yeah, but we don't know me. Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, we've waffled on a bit now. I've had a little bit of a snack. It's probably after 11 o'clock at night. It is time for the quiz of the week. For those who are fussy, let's check out some pussy. It's time for Roger or Dodger. Okay? There we go. Now, what have we got on the menu this week, right? This is going to be the last live stream that I'm going to do for, a while, so let's just go out with a bang. I wouldn't mind banging some of these beds here. Okay, what have we got here now? Okay? Now, what have we got here on Roger or Dodger? Now, if you don't know the principle of Roger or Dodger, many people do by now. Basically, this fat, ugly bastard stuffs his face with pork pies and drinks beer on a Wednesday night and pours his thoughts over all these glamorous women, these very, very glamorous women, and asks the question, would you Roger it, as in I'd like to give it a bloody good Rogering, Or dodger, as in, no, not for me, mate. You can keep that one. So what have we got here? Oh, that's a bit of a, oh my God, some scary pictures of this one to begin with. Some very, very scary pictures. I think this is one of the more pleasant pictures of it. I'd like you to tell me, who is this? Who is that? Anyone? Roger or Dodger? Okay, there you go. See, someone's gone to bed because he's just like Roger or Dodger. Pink. Okay, you've got that pink. Now, is she a Roger or a Dodger? Dodger. Someone says Dodger. I haven't seen any Rogers yet. Okay, so that is pink. Okay, so what do you think of pink? Is she a Roger or a Dodger? 3-time Roger. We have one Roger up to now, 2 Rogers, 1 Dodger. Dodger, Roger, a tribal fusion. You can't say that. That is not politically correct. That's not very nice. That Kip's guitar and Weddigan Roger. You see, people seem to like Pink. Here's another picture of her here. Now, Pink is a very, very, very successful, very, very talented singer. Okay, she's a very, very talented singer. There she is, lovely looking girl. I think she's a former gymnast, or she's done gymnastics. If you see her in a concert, she does some spectacular concerts, and I like that. I think she's a really good singer. She's made some really, really good songs. But is she a Roger or a Dodger? She is, of course, an American. Paul Hoskin, Pink Honeypot. That's very, very nicely phrased, that, mate. Is she Roger or a Dodger? Well, she's certainly fit. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know, mate. She's sort of tomboyish in a Smooth X1. I'd have to think about this one. Great voice and performer. She certainly is that. She's certainly a great performer. She does the most spectacular shows, and she's super fit and a very, very good singer, probably a great artist. But I don't think she's to everyone's, even though she's usually successful, she's not to everyone's taste. I mean, look at this picture of her here. I think some people would probably regard her as absolutely stunningly beautiful woman, whereas others would think, well, no, not for me, mate. She looks really scary in that picture, doesn't she? What does she look like in that picture there? I think she reminds me of, is the word androgynous? Is the word androgynous? I'm not quite sure about that. I'm not. Oh, God Almighty! And here's another picture of it. Here's another picture of it here. Another sort of freaky sort of. It's one of those, post-punk sci-fi movies. You can imagine, You can imagine her in John Carpenter's Escape from New York. She looks she's good looking, but in a sort of scary sort of way. I mean, look at that picture again. I think really she would have been ideal if there was a feminist version of Blade Runner. She would have fitted well, and she could have played the female version of the Rutger Hauer character in Blade Runner, and she would have been wonderful for stuff like that. But I don't think she's for me. I think she's too masculine. She's got a sort of aggressive looking face, not feminine enough for me. Not really. Kip's guitar, oh, so your nephew's not a kiss and tell person? No, certainly not. Well, good for him, mate. Good for him. Definitely pot the pink at this moment in time, Roger. Okay, Roger. So I don't think pink is for me. There's a nice picture of her. She's one of those women, in a way. Like, do you ever remember Annie Lennox? I think there was a poll done of Annie Lennox to say that Annie Lennox was one of the most beautiful women in the world. And I thought, really? And you agree with that? You agree with that because you really think that, or because someone else has told you to? I think pink is similar. She's a very acquired taste, but really not for me. Too strange for me. I like feminine women. I would say she'd have to be a Dodger for me. Simon Eyes 41. If she grew a hair long, she'd be totally different. Whatever. Okay. Anyway, we've done enough of that one anyway. So who's next on the list? Now, okay. that is a modern American singer. Like some people say that I choose too many British people, and some people say I choose too many old grannies who they've never heard of. But what it is, I try to appease everyone. So we've done a contemporary American singer. So now we're going to go all the way back to the 1970s British TV. Okay, let's have a little look. Let's see. Franklin Ray, Miss Lynn Pink is powerfully sexy. Good for you, mate, if she's that type of woman. Wigglette, Annie Lennox is much more feminine than Pink. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't sort of rave about either of them personally. Okay, let's see now. Let's see. Okay, so who's the next one? Who is the next one? Right. Now, go back to the 1970s. Think of a very, very famous TV show, a very, very famous TV talent show. And a supposed star was born from that TV talent show of the 1970s from British TV. And I'd like you to tell me who this is. Who is that? Anyone? Gorgeous woman, beautiful woman. No, it's not Peter Sutcliffe. Hilda Baker? No, it's not Hilda Baker. Come on, someone will know who that is. You've got to know who that. He's got it. Tybo Fusion's got it. Patty Boulay. Patty Boulay. Okay, that is Patty Boulay. Okay, now she was a singer from the 1970s, and she was on. You know, I think that this may have even been from that series. There was a series in the 1970s called New Faces. There was also one before that called Opportunity Knocks, with the rather despicable looking bloke, a bloke called Huey Green. But New Faces came along after that. But it was a very, very popular TV show, Saturday Night Prime, in the 1970s. And bearing in mind, in the 1970s, we only had only three TV channels in the 1970s. Even Channel 4 didn't come along until the 1980s. We had three TV. We were starved of entertainment in those days. In those days, we felt envious of Americans because we heard Americans had 25 TV channels. We had three. We had BBC One, BBC Two, and ITV in the 1970s, and it all finished at 12 o'clock at night. In fact, you were so desperate for TV in those days that when the TV closed down at 12 o'clock at night, you'd still be looking at the little dot in the middle of the screen, in case it was miraculously going to come back. Google's getting on my nerves again. Right. Program called New Faces was a talent show, and I think the most famous person to come from was actually Jim Davidson, who was a very, very good comedian. He's still around nowadays. Some of them may also remember Roger Corsi and Nuki Bear. I can't remember what Nuki Bear done, but he was that come from New Faces. But Patty Boulay came along. Now, I think she'd been in stage shows and whatever beforehand. She was Nigerian born. But Patty Boulay come along, and she was so beautiful and such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful singer. She came along and she just captured everyone's heart. And bearing in mind, in those days, when only three TV channels, those kind of programs got massive, massive ratings, the type that they simply wouldn't get nowadays. Even something like X Factor probably wouldn't get those kind of ratings nowadays. And basically, she captured everyone's hearts, and everyone was predicting that she would become a huge, huge singing star, a massive singing star. She got the most points on New Faces. Everybody loved Patty Boulay, but she became one of those people who was sort of famous for being famous at the time. And the fact is that even though she won everyone's heart and people thought, a star is born, I don't think she didn't really, get the recording career, the singing career that people expected her to. In fact, I can't actually recall a song that she sung, because the fact is that someone who is very, very talented at singing and may have the star quality, they still need that real break. They still need to meet the right producer, the right songwriters. The music industry is probably very, very ruthless. And really, a couple of years down the line, people were wondering what actually became of Patty Boulay. There's another picture of her there. Gorgeous looking babe. Beautiful, beautiful looking girl. But she just simply didn't get the right songs. She had the talent, she had the looks, she had the star quality, but she just didn't get the right songs really, and that's why her recording career never really took off. But she became famous for other things. I think she was a lot of TV series. She popped up on TV an awful lot, and there she is with an OBA. There she is with an OBA. So much loved by the British public, but that successful recording contract seemed to elude her, which is much a pity, really. I mean, I don't remember any. I don't. Apparently, she did make some records, but I don't remember that. But then again, in those days, I listened to the Sex Pistols, so wouldn't have meant much to me anyway. Okay, so Roger or Dodger, Roger or Dodger. Come on. She's a gorgeous looking bird. I'm not seeing too many Rogers here. Not seeing. Not seeing too many Rogers here. Well, I'll tell you what, one last look at Patty Boulay, okay? Gorgeous bird, absolutely gorgeous bird. And I would say that Patty Boulay, quite iconic. Everyone knew who she was, but she did become one of those people who's famous for being famous. But anyway, there you go, Patty Boulay. What a gorgeous, absolutely beautiful bird. And that is definitely a Roger from me. Lovely, exotic, beautiful looking babe. Love her. Okay? So there you go. There you go. What have we got now? Someone said, who said Roger? Someone said Roger. Tampa guy Roger. Absolutely. Okay. Rogers and Dodgers are mixed reaction there anyway. Okay, so what have we got next? I'm going to drink a little bit of this cider here. Ugh. Okay, a little bit of cider. Okay, from one singing star to another one. Okay, now we try and appease all across the world, all ages, all nationalities. So who is this? This is another very talented singer. Who is this? Who's that? There you go. Who is that? Anyone? Come on, you must know who that is. Yeah, Poppycorn's got it. It's Patti Smith. Now, I like Patti Smith. I think Patti Smith's been around for a very long time. She's, I'm Sparta saying she's Frankenstein's monster. You're not far wrong there, mate, okay? Here's another picture of her. Patti Smith, I don't think if you was to say that Patti Smith looks like a bloke in drag, I personally don't think she would be offended by that because she's quite obviously a very someone. Who is that? Who is that? A second, you keep it to women. Some of these photographs, she does look like a bloke in drag. Now, very talented singer. I think she's quite amazing, really. But is she a Roger or a Dodger? There you go. There's another. She looks so boyish there. I don't think she'd be offended by that because she's such a, she's so progressive. She always was so progressive, Patti Smith. But I think she's a wonderful singer. She's made some great songs. I love some of the songs, Horses and Because They're Nice. Some fantastic songs over the years. She is a really great artist. Here's another picture of her here. That's quite a well-known picture. I think does that come from the album of Horses? I think it does, doesn't it? So not the most naturally stunning, Rogerable woman, but she's so talented that you would sort of overlook that. Well, I would anyway. I am told that that's a lady boy. Do you know something? I honestly think people have criticized. I think you better like it or don't like it. People have criticised her in the past for being pretentious, for being vulgar, for being too manly, which she obviously is. But someone like her is so she's very arty, and basically, I don't think she'd be offended, by that really, because she's on a totally different level. Her way of thinking. She's an artist, a poet. Yeah, Ed Ventures on about Roger is going downhill fast. Okay, we'll get someone that you like over in a minute. We'll get someone. There's no accounting for taste. Okay, there is no accounting for taste. Patti Smith is a beautiful, she's a beautiful singer. and an artist. Some of her songs are absolutely fantastic. I will listen to a lot of her songs over and over again. I think she originally sprung up from the punk era or something like that. Anyway, I think you either love her or hate her. Some people dislike her because they said she was too arty, and they wouldn't have time. Pretentious and arty, they wouldn't have time for stuff like that. She's not an obvious Roger, and I don't think I would. I don't think I would. Maybe in the dark, maybe Roger in the dark or whatever. But Patti Smith, very, very talented, but not an obvious Roger. But you don't need to be good looking to be talented. Very talented woman, okay? Let's just leave it at that. Very talented woman. I'm sure. I'm surprised there's not more people who were fans of Patti Smith. Joe Hart, good writer. Richard, David Kay, a real name Patrick. 3 judges in a row. Okay. Well, what about this one? Come on, we're going to do a bit of variety here. Got to do a bit of variety. Okay, we've done. Okay, now this is a good-looking girl. She's good-looking in the face, but what do you make of this one? What do you make of this one? What do you make of this one? Now, here's a good-looking lady here. What do you make of her? Is she pretty or not? Pretty or not? Roger or Dodger? Come on, there's got to be some feedback from this. Adventures around the world, yes. Farang Travels, Pretty Patel. Pinball, Pretty Patel. Okay, Roger. Okay, that is our Home Secretary. For those in America or Australia or wherever you are, she is a British politician. Her name is Pretty Patel. She appears with Ugandan Indians, and she's our Home Secretary. And you know something? I would not be at all surprised if she is a future Prime Minister of England. Get used to that face, because you may see a lot more of it. Her name's Pretty Patel, and apparently, there's lots of Rogers there for her. Tom Osborne, Rick D, Popcorn, yes please. Pretty. Well, she's a damn good-looking woman. Citizen Mikey likes it, yeah. I'll tell you what, if I had to choose between Roger and her or Roger and Maggie Thatcher, I know I'd choose, and it wouldn't be the bloody milk snatcher. That's for sure. Unfortunately, we're Pretty Patel. She's got a beautiful, beautiful face, but you need to do something about that body. I know that sounds very, very unkind, but you need to get down to the gym or go on a diet. She's, her body doesn't quite live up to it. She's a tough lady. So she can take that kind of criticism. She needs to lose a little bit of weight downstairs there. She really, really does. But she's got a gorgeous face. I mean, her face, really, absolutely beautiful. Good-looking woman. Apparently, she's a bit of a Thailand bound, 100% Dodger. Joe Hart, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The thing is, she's a lovely looking woman. Apparently, she's a bit of a bruiser. She's received criticism for being a bit of a bully. God, I've met plenty of women like that. Really diminutive, but hard as nails and nasty bastards. I'm not saying that she's a nasty bastard. I'm not saying that about it. I said she's very, very pretty, but at the end of the day, Maggie was a nasty bastard as well, wasn't she? I mean, Maggie stole all the school milk from the kids. I was one of them. I had a carton of milk in my hand one day, and the next day I didn't have a carton of milk because Maggie Thatcher, the milk snatcher, stole all the school milk, didn't she? So, Pretty Patel, can she be any worse than Maggie? There you go. At least she's got a nice look about her. I'd roger that. I would definitely roger that. And like I say, she's the Home Secretary. She's quite outspoken. Some people actually love her simply because she's so outspoken, and we won't go into political correctness, but let's just say that she will stand up. She will speak her mind about certain issues, and that's what we need in this day and age. We really, really do need that. Pretty Patel, it's a roger from me, okay? Hard Tulip. Yeah, you see quite a lot of Rogers there. Pi G, Roger. Quite a lot of Rogers in the chat there. A lot of people. Pretty Patel's got a lot of support. Imagine rogering a future Prime Minister. Jesus, there's one. There's one in the back of the net, isn't it? Okay, let's see. I'm staring at the remains of that pork pie there. It looks bloody gorgeous, but I'm not going to get into it just yet. I'm going to finish this soon anyway. You've already seen me stuffing me face. Rick T, arse like the back of a bus, yeah? Okay. Well, here we go. Now I've saved the breast for last, okay? Sorry, my nose is itchy. I've saved the breast for last, okay? Let's just have a little look at the chat. Anthony Owens with Roger their face. Hard tube, I hate psychopathic women. Okay. Okay, let's just go through this. Okay. I've saved the oh my God almighty. Oh my, I'm gonna have a little bit more pork pie. Okay, a little teensy weensy tiny bit before we do the last one, before we do the grand finale, okay? Oh my God. You don't realise how hungry you are. Beautiful this. Little's Melton Mulberry pork pie. Highly recommended. There we go. Right. Where are we? It's done on the other side. Okay. Last. Let me just swallow that. Bloody good stuff there. Okay, last, but definitely not least. Definitely not least. I have saved the breast for last. Think of the 1990s. Think of a popular TV show. Think of a massive big pair of silicone knockers. Think of a glamorous blonde. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The breast for last. Who is this? Oh my God almighty. Who's that Pammy? Of course it's Pammy. Let's get that photo back again. Come on. Let's get that photo back again. Here we go. There we go. Isn't she? Wow. That is quite sensational. That. Oh, so there's a lot of silicone there, but it's definitely who's saying dodge it? Come on. You wouldn't possibly dodge that. You wouldn't possibly dodge that. That is, of course, the beautiful, absolutely stunning, wonderful Pamela Anderson. Here's another picky over there. There you go. Okay, now I must admit, that corny old TV show Baywatch from the 1980s, I mean, what an absolute load of claptrap. It used to go out on TV around about 5:30 on a Saturday evening. Absolute load of cobblers. But boy, you watched it because there was glamour there, wasn't it? There was Pammy and there was a few other but Pammy was the star. She had star quality. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, there was a time when you couldn't pick up a newspaper without Pammy Anderson being on the front page. And I think things have got a little bit too politically correct now. You know, back in the 1990s, you're only going back 30 years, aren't you, really? But the fact is, they were a bit more liberal there about making jokes about big silicone knockers and that sort of stuff. But she was a naturally good-looking girl. Here's a lovely picture. Jesus Christ. Good-looking girl. Absolutely good-looking girl. Who cares? Cooptyville, who cares if it's cobblers as long as Pammy is running up the beach, okay? Now Pammy, she seemed like an angel, didn't she? When she was in that TV series, but then she showed the sort of dark side. She started, knocking about, well, what was his name? That rocker with all the tattoos. What was his name? Tommy T-Bone or something like that. And all of a sudden, she didn't seem like an angel anymore. But she was such a damn good-looking girl. Okay, she had silicone. Now, I must admit, I thought a lot of those kind of TV shows are a load of crap, but I did watch a bit of it. I kind of got hooked on it simply to watch Pammy and some of those other ladies there. Well, it's a little bit of soft core stuff early on a Saturday evening, and I loved it in that show so much that I had to check out some of those videos she'd made beforehand. You know, I managed to get hold of some of those little softcore videos she'd made, Playboy stuff and all that kind of stuff. And my God, she was such a good looking girl. And she was hairy as well then. She was hairy. I mean, you know, oh my God, not blonde, not a natural blonde at all, but she was naturally hairy. You know, that's as you will know, that's the way I like. Okay, she had so much silicon, whatever, but you can forgive her that. She was naturally hairy. But I think where she went downhill, and I think even that guy from Baywatch, what was his name, Hasselhoff, commented on this, is when she started having the dreaded tattoos. Oh, why the hell did she started having tattoos and then she had another? Oh God, no, we don't want to go down that road. Silicon's bad enough, but having tattoos as well. But Pammy, here's a picture of it. I think this is a later one. Can I get away with showing this? Can I get away with showing this? There you go. There's Pammy there. Gorgeous looking bird. Somebody said, you know, when she got pregnant, that before long, you know, those knockers would look like two oranges in a sock. I'm not going to, I want to say I'm not going to comment on it. I have commented on it, but she was a gorgeous looking bird. But one of the videos that you may have seen, you can get it on, you know, a few of these adult sites, is the one made a few years ago where she attends Hugh Hefner's birthday party. Now, Hugh Hefner, what a jammy old bastard he was. Jesus, that man's life. If he would live anyone's life over from the start of, I wouldn't mind living his life. Oh my God, I mean, you know, even when he was 80 years old, he was knocking off all these lovely young blondes, and you know, why didn't he just go down to the social club and stink a piss like any ordinary 80-year-old was? He had an amazing life, that guy. But he had this bit, you know, I don't know which bit, it might have been his 85th bit or something like that. Anyway. But he's having this birthday party with a cake, you know, surrounded by all these lovely blondes. And who walks in? Starkers. It's Pammy. Now, she's clearly getting on a bit there. But even so, she walks in, you know, starkers, and, you know, gives him a big hug. And I think she presents him with a cake. But I noticed, and you can get to this video, I think many of you will have seen it, that she was shaven then. Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, early on she was naturally hairy, but, you know, those videos, but then she became shaven. And, you know, I kind of missed that bit, you know what I mean? I kind of missed the natural hairy stuff. But anyway, here's another picture of her. Pamela Ransom, what do you think, guys? Come on, what do you think of her? Come on, she's such a good look. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous woman. I've definitely saved up the breast for last there. It's a Roger, okay? So, what have we got? Rabbit Travels, Pammy would still get it. Paul Connor, wasn't she in a video with Tommy Lee? I believe she was. I believe she was. I think it's mild. I mean, you know, I think she's probably in a lot more than that. Okay. Hard Shield, you have to. I saw him in Battalion once. Wouldn't bloody surprise. God, that man. Somebody put some daft question on one of these Facebook sites once. Which person would you like to live his whole life over again? And a number of people put, you know, I don't know, famous celebrities, and I put Hugh Hefner. Honestly, I wouldn't mind living that. That man had an amazing life. He had an amazing life. Good for them, I say. Good for them. You are what you are, and life is often what you make it. And that guy made something bloody good out of his life. Okay, let's have a little look at the chat, and then I'm going to say good night. Okay, I'm going to say good night. Cream pies, Hooters. Right, Roger 30 years ago. Roger at a peak. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, we're just on 1.5 hours. I've done my bit anyway. Up to me. Good one to finish on, Ed. Thanks, matey. Okay, so listen, this hasn't been the most inspired live stream ever, but the fact is that I think you'll understand where I'm coming from. Let me just reiterate, this is a travel channel. I've got up to 37,000 subscribers, almost 10 million views by being a travel channel. And this dreadful situation we've been going through the last year or so, these live streams have sort of rescue this channel from oblivion. It's, you know, it's kept us doing something on a it's kept us doing something on a Wednesday night, and there's plenty of people who watch these videos after they upload them to YouTube. So a big thanks a lot. Look, I really, 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 really do appreciate you guys tuning in every Wednesday night over the last 10 months or whatever it is. I'm just going to take a couple of, maybe a month, maybe 2 months away from all this. So, and I'll just go over the reasons for that once again. It's a travel channel, but travel right now has become bloody dire. I'm not even traveling right now. I've just gone the first winter that I've had in 20 years without traveling, which, you know, I don't know, doesn't make me feel very, very good at all. You know, you can't plan anything in this moment in time because there's so much uncertainty. Our beloved Southeast Asian countries, they've lost their last peak season. It's a long way to go before the next peak season. So I think we'll put those on hold for now. I won't be traveling to Asia for at least until the end of this year. Hopefully I can get there then. I am planning on maybe doing some beautiful European destinations, maybe July, August, September, around about that time. Let's hope that comes about. But the thing about these live streams, I've loved coming on here every Wednesday night and having your, you know, wonderful support. I really, really do thank you for that. But I can't come in here and just waffle over the same rubbish over and over again. It's a travel channel, and travel's become so that there's not really much to say about it. All of those reports that you read about visas and quarantines and everything, we've talked and talked and talked and talked and talked about this until it becomes just meaningless. You know what I mean? Okay. So listen, I'm gonna try and take a little bit of time out. I will say I'm hopefully going to be back, you know, in the not too distant future. I'd like to say thanks to everyone for tuning in. You know, during this terrible time. I hope all's well with everyone. Let's look forward to more positive times. And in the words of Vera Lynn, we'll meet again some sunny day. Cheers.